Hello everybody. Today we are studying Unit 13 at the observatory. The observatory. The observatory is a place where we can see the planets and the outer world close to the Earth using some equipment, scientific equipment. So this is the observatory. Observatory. Yes. Number 2, shooting stars. Shooting stars. These are the shooting stars. Stars that can be launched in the space before coming to the Earth. These shooting stars explode. Astronomer. Astronomer. Astronomer is a scientist who studies the stars, the planets at the observatory. Okay? So he is an astronomer. Astronomer. Then we have the word minus equals less. Minus equals less. We also have the word take turns. Take turns. Like we say, Dad bought us a new laptop for me and my sister. We can't use the laptop at the same time, so we need to take turns to play on it. Okay? Today we are talking about the reported questions. We have studied in the last unit the reported statements. Today the reported questions. Questions. When the question begins with verbs such as do, does, did, am, is, are, were, have, has, had, can, could, will, would, and so on, we erase it and use the following form: the speaker plus the word asked, not said. Yes, here we have to use asked plus the object plus if plus the subject and the verb. Like, do you speak English well? Said the tourist to Hala. So the tourist asked Hala if she spoke English well. If she spoke English well. As we said before, that we have to change the tenses from the present to the past and so on. Let's remember this together. Yes. Am and is becomes was, are, it's were, has or have, had, will, would, may, might, can, could, must or have to and has to, had to. The present simple becomes past simple. The past simple can be stay at the past simple because it's already past, and it also can be changed to the past perfect. The last week becomes the week before, yesterday, the day before, tomorrow, the next or the following day. This becomes that, these becomes those, ago, before, here, there, today, that day, now, and then. Okay? So here we said, do you speak English well? It's in the present simple, but when we change it, the tourist asked Hala if. We use the word if because we have to erase the auxiliary verb like do, did, does, and so on. So the tourist asked Hala if. You becomes she because it talks about Hala. So if she spoke English well. This is the first type here. Number 2, have you done your homework, Mona? Mother asked Mona if she had done her homework. Okay? The second type of the question is the WH questions. Like we say, where do you spend the weekend, Mona? Hala asked Mona where she spent the weekend. Number 2, how much did you pay for the bike? Dad asked Ahmed how much he had paid for the bike. We also can say, Dad asked Ahmed how much he paid for the bike. Number 3, where will you go tomorrow? Sally said to Nihal. So Sally asked Nihal where she would go the next day or the following day. Notice we transform the verbs and tenses if the verb was in the past, like asked, said, told, and so on, as following these expressions as we have just said. Okay? Now, we have some examples, some more examples that can make the rule easier for you. Are you an astronomer? The students asked the professor. So it becomes the students asked the professor if she was an astronomer. Is it hot or cold on the moon? Asked Ziad. Ziad asked if it was hot or cold on the moon. Ola said to me, are all the people in your family tall? Ola asked me if all the people in my family were tall. Munir said to the teacher, are they studying astronomy? Munir asked the teacher if they were studying astronomy. Number 5, can you play the guitar? Nabila asked Hannah. So Nabila asked Hannah if she could play the guitar. Will you finish your homework before dinner? Kareem asked his sister. So Kareem asked his sister if she would finish her homework before dinner. Number 7, have you ever been to Luxor? Ahmed asked Nada. So Ahmed asked Nada if she had ever been to Luxor. If she had ever been to Luxor. Number 8, do all the planets have moons? Said Aya. Aya asked if all the planets had moons. Do you like reading, Taha? Asked the teacher. The teacher asked Taha if he had liked reading. Number 10. Do you know the answer to the question? I asked May. I asked May if she knew the answer to the question. Number 11. Did you meet your friend yesterday? I asked Ali. So I asked Ali if he had met his friend the day before. Let's have some examples on the second type of questions, like what is a shooting star? Asked Judy. Judy asked what a shooting star was. What is your project about? My mother asked me. My mother asked me what my project was about. Number 3, we said to the scientist, where is your telescope? We asked the scientist where his telescope was. Number 4, why are telescopes expensive? Asked Lena. Lena asked why telescopes were expensive. What is the fastest way to Capital Bank? I asked. I asked what the fastest way was to Capital Bank. We have another answer here. I asked what the fastest way to Capital Bank was. Number 6. How many planets are there in our solar system? Ali said. Ali asked how many planets there were in our solar system. Which book is yours? I asked Nader. I asked Nader which book was his. Hannah asked, when is the next bus leaving? Hannah asked when the next bus was leaving. What are you doing? I asked Heba. I asked Heba what she was doing. When will you return from Paris? My wife asked. My wife asked me when I would return from Paris. Now let's check. What's your name? Asked Salma. So, Salma asked me what my name was. Why are cars expensive? Asked Ahmed. Ahmed asked why cars were expensive. Do you like swimming? Asked the teacher. The teacher asked me if I liked swimming. How long does it take you to get to school, Mona? Asked Layla. Layla asked Mona how long it took her to get to school. Thank you very much.